All right, welcome to our explainer. Today, we're diving into a really big question. What does it actually take to move abroad? We're going to get into the real reasons people leave, some pretty surprising ways you can get a new passport, and most importantly, how to figure out the right path for you. So let's just cut right to the chase with a question that sounds like it's straight out of a spy movie. Can you literally buy your way into a new citizenship?
And, the short answer is, yes, you can. But, and this is a big but, it's way more complicated and, honestly, more interesting than just writing a check. It's about understanding the why just as much as the how.
And what you've got to understand is that the real driver here isn't just about chasing a bigger paycheck. The force behind this massive wave of migration is something much more simple and way more human. It's the search for a better quality of life.
Okay, so what does a better life even mean? In this first section, let's really break down the core reasons why so many people are looking to pack up and call a new country home.
It's a whole mix of things, really. On one hand, you've got the daily headaches, the traffic, the crowds. On the other, there's just that basic human instinct to explore. There's even a huge cultural piece where parents feel this immense pride when their children settle abroad. But here's a statistic that really shows you how deep this runs. Experts say that for a huge number of students, maybe 95% of them, going abroad to study isn't the main goal. The real goal is to migrate.
All right, so if the goal is to be able to move around the world freely, let's talk about the most direct option out there, what some people call the money route. How does someone actually go about buying a passport?
Well, the problem is pretty straightforward. If you're a successful entrepreneur or you've built up some wealth, your Indian passport can actually hold you back. The constant hassle of applying for visas, waiting for them to get approved, it's a major roadblock when you're trying to do business or just travel freely.
And here's a popular solution in action, the Granada Passport Program. It's a direct, investment-based path. Basically, you invest around $300,000 in approved real estate, and in as little as 3 to 6 months, you can have a brand new passport in your hand. Just like that.
And the power that little book gives you is huge. It unlocks visa-free travel to over 140 countries. We're talking the entire Schengen area in Europe, the UK, and get this, even China and Russia, places where even US citizens need to get a visa. So you might be wondering, what happens to your Indian citizenship? Well, India doesn't allow for dual citizenship, so you do have to surrender your passport. But, and this is really important, you can then apply for an Overseas Citizen of India card or an OCI card. Think of it like a lifelong visa to India. You can live and work there indefinitely. The main things you can't do are vote or own agricultural land. Okay, so that's the fast track. But what about what many consider the ultimate prize, a life in the United States? Let's switch gears and look at the main routes people take to chase the American dream.
The most famous path, the one everyone's heard of, is the H-1B visa. At its core, it's a work permit for highly skilled professionals, people in tech, medicine, engineering, who've been hired by a U.S. company for a very specific job.
But here's the crazy part. Getting an H-1B has almost nothing to do with how qualified you are or if you landed a job at Apple or Microsoft. It's a pure lottery. Last year, there were over 800,000 applicants fighting for just 65,000 spots. Your fate is literally decided by a random computer draw. It's wild. So, if playing the lottery with your future doesn't sound too appealing, there is another way. It's called the EB-5 Investor Visa Program. This is the money route to the U.S. It offers a direct path to a green card, that's permanent residency, for you, your spouse, and your kids under 21. And here's the trade-off. Instead of luck, you need capital, a lot of it. The program requires a minimum investment of $800,000 into an approved business project that creates at least 10 full-time jobs for American workers. So yeah, it's a guaranteed path, but it comes with a pretty hefty price tag.
Now for a question we hear all the time. If you're looking for global opportunities, where should you go? The established giant, the USA, or the rapidly rising star, Dubai?
Let's put them head to head. When you talk about safety, Dubai is considered one of the safest places in the world, hands down. For opportunity, the US is just a much bigger and more diverse economy. But ease of access? Dubai is way simpler to get into. And then, the big one for many, taxes. The US has a famously complicated tax system. Dubai, zero. Income tax.
And that brings us to the bottom line, the question on everyone's mind. After 10 years of hard work, where are you likely to end up with more money in the bank?
Well, the answer isn't so simple. The truth is, you can become a millionaire in both places.
The US offers that massive scale and the whole American dream allure. But Dubai offers the incredible advantage of letting you keep every single dollar you earn. It really depends on your industry and what your personal goals are.
So, after we've looked at everything from buying passports to visa lotteries and investor green cards, how in the world do you choose the right path for you?
It all comes back to this one single powerful question. There's no such thing as the best country or the best visa for everyone. It completely depends on what you are trying to achieve. Let's just summarize it like this. If your number one goal is simply visa-free travel, then a Caribbean passport is your fastest route. If you're chasing the absolute biggest opportunities, the US is still seen as the ultimate destination. For top-tier safety and a zero-tax life, Dubai is the clear winner, and if your dream is a guaranteed green card for your family in the US, the EB-5 program is built for exactly that purpose.
And that is the real takeaway here. The journey of migration is deeply, deeply personal. It's all about aligning your own goals with what a country can offer you. So the question isn't, where's the best place to live? It's, what's the best place for me and the future I want to build? Thanks for tuning in.